Hi there folks, and welcome back to another episode of Solar City Garage. Thanks for tuning in. If you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. If it is your first time, you're going to want to go back and watch the previous videos if you're interested in the stages of putting together a Model T. So with that, I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. Ring the bell and see how the progress goes. All right, here we go. So what we're doing now is we are taking a look at the hogshead. You know, the hogshead doesn't look like a very complicated thing, but it actually has lots of parts and pieces and does an important thing. All that important work we've done to the transmission is reliant on how well the parts in here fit. So as you can see, this is a 26-27 hogshead. Has the two bolt holes up here and the screw-in magneto post. Over here we have the wide pedals and the reverse pedal and the clutch arm. And over here we have some replacement parts. This clutch arm brass bushing piece is fine. These are off the clutch arm inside and they're fine. These are the three fasteners that hold in the pedal pivots. These pedal pivots are new. I got those from our friends at Lang's. Not real expensive. A lot of times they're worn, so it's a good idea to replace them. The hardware that holds them in is special hardware. It's bolts with a thinner head. Bolts go from the inside out. This is also a pivot point that goes inside the transmission, so we will be changing that out too. All those things are held in on the clutch arm here with pins that you peen the ends over. So you have to grind them off and drive them out to get it apart. Sometimes they come apart easy, sometimes they come apart hard. This one came apart real easy. On our clutch arm here, the hole in the end of the arm was very egged out. So we welded it up and put it in the mill, made it a 1/4 inch again. Also did the same on our clutch pedal. The bottom of this one was wore just about through. So we welded it up, put it in the mill, and made it round again. We also stuck the pedals into the hogshead, made sure that they had the correct spacing between them, that they're easily bent. So we heat them a little bit and straighten them up. These were okay. So overall, this stuff was all in good shape. So as you can see, it's all been through the bead blaster. It's all cleaned up. So now we are ready to put some paint on here, make it pretty, and then we'll do some assembly. So let's make that happen. It'll probably just like the magic of TV. Wait and see. And just like that, it all turned shiny and black. All right, so we got everything painted. We used the high temp engine enamel and the hogshead and the pedals and all these pieces. So it's time for some assembly. So we'll get set up here for that, and then let's go to it. Be right back. Next, we're going to put some grease on this shaft here, on the clutch arm, on the outside here where it slides in, just like so. Then we're going to put a little grease on the inside of the pivots down here. Just like that. Those will get plenty of oil when the engine's running. We'll just help it along a little. Next, we'll put a little grease on the shaft here of our reverse pedal. And I'm going to put a little on, I don't know what it was out here, on the pivot. Like so. It'll take them a little bit to smooth up. Okay. So we'll do the same thing on the brake. Just helps keep things moving. We'll put some on the shaft like that, down in the pivots. Then we'll stick in our brake pedal. So there we go. Pedals are in, clutch shaft is in, everything is peened and good. Have you noticed that I've checked? Maybe we should back out a little bit here. Something else I've done is I made sure the pedals were straight. The clutch pedal usually ends up a little bit farther away from the reverse pedal, which makes it easier to drive. So, especially if you got big feet. So there it is. The hogshead itself is assembled and cleaned up. Everything that needed to be fixed was fixed. The next time you see it, it will be put onto the motor. We'll also put in our low adjusting screw here just so we don't lose it. I put a new nut on that we got from Lang's. The screw itself is back ordered. So we'll just put that in there for now so we don't lose it. All right, so the next time you see this, we'll be getting our gaskets ready and putting it on the motor. All right, thanks for watching. Hi there, folks, and we're back. We're back over at the motor, and we just finished assembling the hogshead, and now we're going to work on fitting our gaskets just like we did with the front part of the oil pan. Down in this corner can be like leak central. You've got the felt that comes down around. You've got the pan gasket, which you can see protrudes a little bit here, but that is glued down really well. But you see when you put this gasket up there, it wants to overlap, and we don't want that. So instead of cutting the gasket off here and prying that up, we're going to just shorten this gasket. So you can see it's just about to the edge of the hole. So we know how much to take off. A pair of scissors just works dandy. So, you know, that lays in there nice and flat. This will have sealant in it too. That hole there has got a little burr of paper. All right, so got that cleaned out. So just that little bit of trimming will make a big difference in how things fit. I'm going to do this to the other side. Then when I come back, we will look at the felt. Okay, be right back. Okay, so we're back. I went and grabbed the felt, and we're just laying it down in the front edge, of that groove. Kind of let the rest of it hang back here towards the coil ring. So as you can see, we'll go over on the other side and be sure okay, we are just touching on the other side. You can see that this side is a little bit too long. So we're going to take a little off from there. We don't want that felt bunched up under the corner of the hogshead. We just want it, let's put it back in here. Just want it so it comes down and touches that bottom gasket. Like I say, we'll put some sealer in that corner to make up for any gaps or anything. So we'll get this back in place. Like so. It's just touching. And we'll hold it here in the middle. Pull it clear down. And it's just touching there as well. So I think we've got it. We've got the gaskets trimmed. We have the felt trimmed. Some people narrow the felt up. I don't think it hurts anything coming out here and touching the coil ring. So you do you, I'll do me on that kind of stuff. So what we're going to have to do, we'll put a layer of the right stuff under each side gasket. We'll put a layer under the felt. We will put a layer on top of the felt, and then also on top of the gaskets. We have the fasteners all cleaned up. Some of the fasteners are threaded. There's one on each end here that's threaded, and then there's also on the starter side, I guess this side, these three are also threaded, so up and from the bottom. So two different lengths. The ones clear in the back by the fourth main are longer than these three, so keep that in mind when you're putting the bolts in. All right, I'll reset the camera so you can kind of see, and then we'll go from there. Right back. Okay, let's start by applying a bead of the right stuff on the back of the block here. It can be fairly generous. Go all the way down to that pan gasket. So I'm going to come over here, do the same thing. Go all the way down to the pan gasket. We're going to come a little past. We're also going to start out around this hole and along the block. Just like so. Now we'll take our felt. Set it down in here. And we'll just work it, leaving that front edge against that little lip on the block. And we'll just push it down into that sealant. come straight down and touch where we just put material. Okay. Now we're just going to keep working on there. Pretty soon we'll have to change tubes. We'll get in here and put a bead on top of the felt. We'll kind of zigzag. Kind of making a wide bead. Like so. Then we will start down on our pan here, go around the bolt holes. I think we're just about out of product here. Alright, it's time to change into a new one. So keep that in mind when you go to buy sealer. You're going to take 2 of these. You can just reuse the same nozzle tip that you did because it's full of sealer. Just screws right on and you won't waste it. There we go, just like that. Go around the bolt hole. Around that bolt hole and out here to the end. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to clean off my tip. Going to do the same on the other side, then we'll lay the gaskets in it. So, a little bit more in there. All right, you guys squeeze out a little nub there. Now the fun parts begin. Fun parts begin. Wiggling that heavy thing down in there. And we have to get our clutch fork down over there. You can see I've taken 2 of the this is where you almost need another person. Alright, we're going to grab it right here. Line up our clutch. Now, make sure our gaskets didn't move. which it didn't. We need to go kind of forward. Okay. Really close. Okay, our clutch is engaged. Our band is started into there. Now we need to start working our bolts in. That didn't go so bad. We're just about up to the engine block there. What squished out there looks good. So let's start with trying some bolts. I'll get set up here. Be right back. Hey there folks, and after lots of wiggling and jiggling, I've got most of the bolts started. Now I need to slowly start pulling the hog's head down in the front here around that felt seal, now that sealer. So we'll run this down a little bit. Get one of these front ones started like so. And we'll see if we can get the last one started over here. Okay, they are all started. So let's start clear up here in the front. Start pulling this down. Okay, that side came down quite a bit. Let's go over to the other side. See if we can do the same. We're just trying to get this front corner pulled down. First. Let's start with these ones clearing the back now. All right, so they're all snugged down. We'll go back around and double check them in a minute. What I'm curious of, if we did everything correct, these bolts here should start. See there? If they don't start, you've got something wrong with the felt. It's either bunched up or the gaskets are layered up in the bottom. But as you can see, those both start very well. So there, we'll let that just sit and squish out a minute. Then we'll go back through, clean up some of the edges, and recheck them. All right, stay tuned. Okay, there, we're back. We went through and re-snugged them all off from camera and cleaned up where the sealer in the most visible spots had gushed out. So next we're going to, I want to put those upper bolts in. So we are going to put on these extra supports. Maybe that one's on that side now. Yep. So those go down through when the motor gets bolted to the frame. So we're going to tighten them up here for now. We may have to loosen them when we put the engine on, the chassis. But I want to get this snugged up to the back of the block just in case it has to flex a little. But it's touching and looks spectacular. So we'll just kind of hold them here. Like so. If you push them over, the holes line right up. They started these in late 25. As you can see, that one springs up, but when it's on there, it's on there. So between the two extra bolts back here to make up for the 4-dip pan, these two extra braces here, which you can see that'll pull right down, gave a lot more strength back here. Was a lot better on the pan ears, stuff like that. So there we go. Hogshead is on, the clutch arm is engaged. the pedal here for the clutch pedal is just started in there. Next thing we'll do is we'll work on putting the springs and the other pedals in, and then do a preliminary adjustment, put the cap on, and then we'll move on to the generator. Because then the generator, then we'll put on the intake and exhaust manifolds, and then that's about all we can do with it on the stand, because the stand is in the way of doing the starter. So, all right, we're gaining here. Let's work on these bands. Okay, let's slip these pedals in. We'll have to probably kind of jump over our zip ties if we can. Oop, out. Losing the band here. Okay, then we'll take a screwdriver, push that band back around, like so. We'll push right over top of those zip ties, just like that. Okay, now's where we don't want to do anything stupid, like drop one of these nuts and washers down in our perfectly clean transmission. So I'm going to get some rags, we'll stuff them down in there. We will also count them to see how many we have, and then we will just slide those back out, put the springs in, and the nuts and the washers, and then we'll put the low adjuster in. Then we can do a preliminary adjustment. Then we'll have to hook our clutch linkage to the clutch pedal. All right, stay tuned.